God gonna get that get back for you. He gonna do it. You don't even gotta worry about it. I know it hurt. I know that they did you wrong. But leave it alone. God saw the whole thing from start to finish. Every lie, every betrayal. You don't have to chase justice when God already knows the truth. You don't have to do it. While they're busy thinking that they got away with it, God is busy working it out for you. Your job is just to heal. God gonna handle the rest.
My darling Fumi Nation, we are back with summer colors, my darling. The Powerpuff t-shirt, darlings, is back for you. We have the pink and the yellow. You asked, my darling, and I said, why not? Available for you now. A lot of them have already sold out. A lot of you really love the colors. Don't worry, I'll bring it back. But I just live and love. I am wearing the pink, as you can see, the most gorgeous ever. And we have what is delayed, not denied in the back of them. We still got the white ones for those of you that still want them. What is delayed is not denied. We also have the powder blue. The powder blue was such a success. We still have some more for you, my darlings. So the pink and the yellow are the colors for summer 2026. And of course, for my dark girlies, we have what is delayed, not denied, the black. Our tote bags, which of course you can put into the pocket, and it's compact for shopping, for going to the gym. We also have the white, tangerine orange, as well as the powder blue, which, darlings, are absolutely fabulous, and you can take them everywhere. Compact, and then you have it on the out. Such fun colors, my darlings. And again, like I said, you have the big pocket on the inside, and that is what you use to fold in the bag. You're going to yoga, you're going to the supermarket, you're going away for the weekend, you want to put all of your beauty products in there. Darlings, it's for you. Happy shopping, my darlings, and I hope you love the summer colors. All of my love. Mwah. Hello, my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? Happy Monday to all of you, my darlings. I am very excited to let you know that I will be going live later on today, my darling. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. UK time. I'm going to have a wonderful guest, Trent Out Loud, my amazing nephew, and we're going to discuss Nolan Wells and how did we get here. So that's going to be later on today. I just wanted you to know that I think it's time I came out here and started doing a whole bunch of lives. Let me know down below if you will like me doing lives. I'll do lives Monday through Friday, and then the weekends to makeup, fashion, beauty, fashion police, that kind of thing. So we'll keep the serious stuff during the week, plus we're going to have a live every day, Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends we'll relax and just kiki and do other things. Let me know if you want me to do lives on the weekend, or you want to come with me throughout London and stuff like that. I think we just need to mix it up because this is so heavy. It really is heavy, and it bothers me, most especially because Nolan's birthday is this week. He would have been 19, and I have stressed it many a time on this show. Always think of his parents, always think of his family, always think of his community, always think of his football farm, think of his coach, his schoolmates, think of everybody that loved Nolan. Their lives have changed forever. Their lives have changed forever. And every milestone, every birthday, Thanksgiving, Labor Day, weekend, Memorial Day, Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Nolan is no longer with them. They only had 18 years. I want us to have them in our prayers. I do this because I'm a mother, and I'm a mother of a son. And I have said it before, I'll say it again. All of us have a Nolan in our family. My niece is going to be 18. And I was looking at her and I was saying to myself, her life hasn't even started. So today we have Judge Carlos Moore, and he has been following the case. I have been fascinated with the audio that Wyatt had with Cito on the boat, and I have always been fascinated, still fascinated with the keys. So let us take a listen to what Carlos has to say, and then we will go from there, okay?
From a professional perspective, is that audio enough to where arrest could have been made, even off a suspicion of what we were thinking we were hearing? Is that enough?
Coupled with other things, I think it's enough for an arrest warrant to be made at this time. I would feel comfortable knowing all the things that I know. If the law enforcement presented me a certain name or names of people that they wanted to be arrested for certain crimes, and they laid it all out as I've understood it from the publicly disclosed information, I would not have a problem at this point signing arrest warrant or arrest warrants.
And then what happens if we got it wrong? It's just, is there like any repercussions from that person? I mean, what's the risk of just locking somebody up off the conditions that you just mentioned?
It happens all the time. I mean, there's no real risk, no repercussions to the judge or the prosecutor. The law enforcement, they do their job and they do the best they can. The judge would have found probable cause to sign the arrest warrant. Judges have judicial immunity, so you can't be sued or successfully for signing an arrest warrant. So there's no risk to the judge. Most prosecutors have prosecutorial immunity. So, I mean, they do it all the time. Law enforcement has qualified immunity. And so what we do know is had the roles been reversed, the black guys that came back to land would have probably been arrested within 24 hours.
Of course. You know, one thing that you kind of led with that I think a lot of people heard or felt and appreciated was you calling out how things were not moving according to how they normally would with a potential cover-up from a local law enforcement level. Don't know if you can say that, but ideally, do you think a cover-up was taking place at some point along the way?
I believe there are a lot of suspicious things that have occurred in this case from the very beginning. Since Nolan went missing, Ashley Cole, by her own admission, deactivated her Facebook account or her social media accounts. She says it was because of she wanted to protect her young children, but who was threatening? We
didn't even know you, I think, at that point.
Yeah, so on July the 4th, no one had in mind about threatening her children. So why would you assume that they would have been threatened just because someone allegedly drowned on Horn Island? That's not a safe assumption. It had to be something more to it. And for those boys to lawyer up, they have a right to lawyer up, but as I told someone, if my family member came to me about something that happened on Horn Island and recounted it to me, as a lawyer, a trained lawyer, I'm going to listen to the facts. I'm not going to advise them to lawyer up if I don't think they committed a crime. You only advise someone to lawyer up if they potentially committed a crime. If you just was a witness to somebody drowning, you can be a witness and testify and recount that freely with no risk of going to prison. So that tells me that something may have gone awry there that could have had some criminal culpability for one or more persons for them, if it's true that those boys lawyered up on July the 4th, July the 5th. And then for the boys to eat together, be seen together on July the 5th eating breakfast at a restaurant instead of being out there with people searching for their friend or best friend, that's not normal circumstances. I mean, if any of my boys were missing and I was one of the last ones to be seen with them, I'm going to be out there with the family trying to show them where we were hanging out or where we were and trying to help find them. I'm not going to be having breakfast at IHOP or Waffle House or anywhere else for that matter.
I wonder how much is that of them being guilty of something or just showing their true colors of maybe how they felt about him, you know?
I don't understand. I mean, instead of going to the funeral, I believe Warren was talking to Officer Tatum on the day of the funeral, being interviewed, and he allegedly was still calling him his best friend. So I don't see how you could not be concerned about your best friend and not out there trying to find him. And I also don't understand why the father said he couldn't find a boat the night of. He says that he didn't have friends with boats, but if your son had friends with boats, they should have gone back out that same night at midnight and started searching for the guy. They didn't offer the boats that night. I'm understanding that they were saying about at 3 a.m.
That kind of broke me. Yeah. They kind of hurt a little bit to be like, I would have went out, but I ain't got no friends with boats.
Correct. And so, but your son had friends with boats because he was out there. That's how he got out there on a boat. So
but Dad already was not rocking with him based off how he had to get the keys and all that. He said that in multiple interviews. Once you kind of show me that you can't be trusted, you seem like you're lying. Then why do you think no one has been at least apprehended under suspicion? At least everyone's getting interviews, but no one's really.
Yeah, I just think it's because in Mississippi, a lot of the times race plays a factor, and then a lot of times your socioeconomic status based on who you are, your parents are. And we have some very prominent people, at least the parents wise. I believe there may be a dentist and an emergency room doctor, a pain doctor, a judge. And so the parents of some of these boys that were last seen with Nolan, his alleged friends, are pretty powerful or influential or relatively wealthy individuals in that county.
Now, one of the theories that I have in terms of Nolan's passing, I assume that he might have been pushed off of a boat. That feels like that can be able to fill in the gap that no one's seen what happened, because he was like out on the water. He wasn't on the shore where everybody was at, and he was pushed off the boat. How is that possible to prove in that case that someone was pushed off a boat? Is it possible?
You would need witness testimony. Someone would have to testify that they saw someone push him off. And that's why I've always had this question. If he drowned, who saw him get into the water? How did he get into the water? Even the pathologist that did the second autopsy says the way he got into the water is going to be very important. Did he voluntarily get in there? Was he forced against his will? Was he pushed accidentally? Was he pushed on purpose? All of that will come into play on the cause and manner of death. And so, but someone knows something, and it's going to take someone to tell. Unless there's some video or audio, it's going to take someone's honest recitation of what happened.
Wow. There were some ghetto blasters over there. One of them was, I did not know that Warren sat with Officer Tatum on the day of Nolan's funeral. I say that because you have to look at the emotional intelligence as well as facts. If your friend, your brother, your everything passed away, and you took the conscious decision to say, we do not want to draw attention from the funeral to us, so we will not go. And to not go is a painful part of my life that I will carry for the rest of my life. I cannot imagine that I would be so composed to have an interview with Officer Tatum on the same day of his funeral. I'm going to put out some excuses. Maybe the interview was set before the funeral date was released, or the interview could only be taking place at that time, logistics, and they just had to change some things around. I cannot imagine that Warren knew when his brother, when his brother was going to be sent home, and you consciously decided that's the perfect day for me to have an interview to exonerate myself from the public court of opinion. Drop it down in the comments. You guys let me know. I have to keep this story alive because we need justice for Nolan Wells. As much as I try to brush it away, I really do, or excuse certain things away, there's something that keeps bugging me it's like a tag on my blouse and I can't get rid of it. Something does not seem quite right. And because of that, I feel as if there's more to this story. I was thinking, again, always in the early hours of the morning, what if it was a situation that perhaps all of them were drinking a little too much? They're all 18. They should not be drinking because the legal age is what? 21. Who was allowing them to drink? They went on to accuse Nolan of doing other things, substances. Who is the supplier? Could it be that they might not be guilty of deleting him, but they're guilty of covering up the death? Maybe that could be a possibility. I don't think their hands are clean. I think in one way, shape or form, maybe they panicked, they didn't know how to act, and they decided to take this decision, whomever the leader was in that moment in time. And they decided, you know what, just push him overboard. Why? Because they all knew they would get into trouble if it was a situation that he overdosed. Because they were all doing it. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying, hypothetically say. But what really brought me to this Monday morning to come and film this was the boat. Because Brandon has been showing us the boat left and right. Look at the boat, look at the boat. Do you think that you can hide anything there? This, that, and the third. Well, apparently, yes, you can. Because it's very deep when you go into the boat. And I have a video to show you. This was shocking, as a matter of fact, and this is the first time I'm seeing the very inside of the boat.
How deep? Alright, I don't want to leave you guys hanging, so why don't I just try and post this picture of the bow of the Triton. And let's see if you guys see what I see. Right here and right here. There's two of them. And look how deep they go. Maybe that's why Wyatt started freaking out and called 911 when they said they were going to go over and search the boat. Don't worry, I'll be back to talk about it and elaborate and go over some new timeline stuff tomorrow. But I should also mention that they are designed to hold fish.
So this very wishy-washy excuse of, oh, you can see the boat. Remember, when the sun hits the boat, especially when it's white, you have blind spots all over. We really can't see anything unless you're on the boat. Well, we have Carlos Moore, who has some more information for us. So let us hear what he has to say.
I told you, I know these folks, and I know how they operate. Don't let their kindness, don't let them kill you with kindness. We are going to keep our feet on their necks. We're going to keep our feet on their necks. We're going to keep applying pressure, because it's what pressure brings results. Pressure bursts pipes. The FBI, we expected them to do their jobs. We know that they work under a Justice Department now that leaves a lot to be desired. That's now run by an acting Attorney General that used to be Trump's personal lawyer. I believe he was up for confirmation today. I hadn't had time to decipher if he's been confirmed or not. So I would hope, back in the day, the FBI was not politicized. They did their jobs as professionals regardless of what party was in power in the White House. I would hope that that's the case in this instance. But I'm continuing to watch and pray. I heard Attorney Crump mention that Nolan Wells' cell phone will be jointly examined by his independent person as well as the state's investigators simultaneously, is what I understood it to be. I think that's very wise, because you do not want to give that cell phone with all this valuable information to those folks unsupervised.
Wow.
So I'm happy to see they've worked a solution in that instance, because that is very, very valuable information that both sides need as part of the investigation. So there's been a lot of talk about the chief Mississippi medical examiner, Stacey Turner. You may recall there was a body found at Delta State of a black boy hung in a tree not too long ago, and she did not find any foul play. So that's the same person who has done the autopsy for the state in this instance. So I see why Attorney Crump and the family have an independent person doing the autopsy, and I happen to know a very good pathologist who's a good friend of mine in Washington, D.C., and if rumor is correct, he may have been the one selected to do the independent autopsy. So I have every bit of confidence in that young man, and I know that he will get down to the bottom of the truth. And if he says it, you can take it to the bank. You can take it to the bank.
Okay.
I'm concerned that since no one has been officially declared to be suspects, but the case is now serious enough for the FBI to be brought in, for the DA to be looking into it and agreeing to present all the evidence to a grand jury, that there evidently are people still of interest that may become suspects, but they are giving them too much time, too much freedom. The normal thing would be to arrest them and to set bail so that they would not be flight risk. I will say that again, so that they would not be flight risk. You have people, just from what the media has been sharing, that may be very well off.
Yes.
And we on day 11. Are we giving them time to escape the country? Have their passports been confiscated? If these folks leave this country and never return, they flee to a country where they do not extradite them back to the United States, that will stink to high heaven. And the people in charge would have been complicit, because if they have not considered that, I'm here to put them on notice as a former judge in Mississippi. You have to think about the flight risk. You have to think about the danger to the community. Do not allow anyone that's of interest to you at this time that may become suspects to leave this country and get away with whatever offense that the evidence may lead to. That is unacceptable. And we're never going to let you live that down if that happens, because you've been warned. First of all, you've been called out because you know better. You know the rules when the races are reversed. That's why you immediately arrest and have some control so the person won't get away and flee. Cops have been even known to shoot folks in the back. Just like I told you about the Diamond 2 son. He was running from the cops, and instead of letting him get away, shot in the back 5 times, and multiple witnesses said he had nothing in his hand. The video footage from the body camera showed nothing in his hand, and yet and still she can secure an indictment for that. Killed somebody graveyard dead while they ran away. But here we day 11, and they're trying to cross every T and dot every I, and allowing folks to do whatever they want to with some of this evidence. Has the boat been seized? Have you even presented evidence to a judge to at least seize that boat?
Jesus.
For any substance?
I said it. And there you have it, my darlings. Tune in later on this evening for our live with Trent Out Loud. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll see you I'll see you tomorrow. Be safe out there. All of my love. Mwah.
Hi guys, my name is ENITAN, hair coach. I am UK's first ever hair coach and a trichologist. We are a team of trichologists and hair coaches here in W6 London, and we help those who are desperate and have tried and everything else has failed. We look after those who have chronic scalp concerns, flaky, itchy scalp that's been going on for many years. We help those that have hair loss that has progressed instead of improved, and we help those that just generally want to have a better understanding of better quality hair, length, volume, and reduce that dryness. Visit us by clicking